Hello students, here comes the good news from CBSE during the pandemic. The much awaited trimmed curriculum is finally released for the year 2020-21. In this video, I have simplified and explained the curriculum for English Standard 10 CBSE with special emphasis on the new paper pattern by CBSE. The complete name of the subject is English Language and Literature and the subject code is 184. Now, let us look at the prescribed books for English Language and Literature. So, we have 3 textbooks. The first one, the first flight. Then we have the supplementary reader, Footprints Without Feet. And we have the workbook for English Standard 10 named Words and Expressions. Now let us look at the distribution of our 100 marks in our English Language and Literature paper. Our 100 marks will be broken down into internals 20 marks and externals 80 marks. Let us look at the internals. The internals 20 marks will be calculated on the basis of pen and paper test, portfolio or notebooks, and subject enrichment activities like speaking and listening activities. For 80 marks, students will have to appear for an external written examination. Now, let's move forward and look at the paper pattern for 80 marks. The external examination of 80 marks is divided into Part A and Part B. Part A, objective 40 marks and Part B, subjective 40 marks. So here we see that there is an equal weightage given to the objective and the subjective part of the examination. Now let us see under Part A objective what all do we have. For 40 marks we have reading passages, 2 passages for 10 marks each, making it total 20 marks for 2 passages. Then we have literature, MCQ questions, 2 extracts of 5 marks each, making it to 10 marks. Lastly, we have MCQ questions, 10 marks for 10 questions. Moving to the subjective part of the question paper, for 40 marks, we have only writing and literature. Writing has 2 questions, one formal letter writing for 5 marks and the other one analytical paragraph for 5 marks, amounting to 10 marks in all for writing. Remaining 30 marks are for literature, wherein there are short questions for 2 marks and 3 marks, long questions, 2 questions from each book. Here we can see a bird's eye view of the entire paper. Moving ahead, let us look at the objective part of the paper once again with a little more clarity. The 40 mark paper is divided into reading, literature and grammar. So you can see how the 40 marks are divided, 20 mark reading, 10 marks literature and 10 marks grammar. Because it is Part A objective, all of these questions will be MCQ kind of questions, multiple choice based questions. Moving to the Part B, subjective part of 40 marks. Here, as the question says subjective, the answers will have to be responded in few sentences. We have writing skill of 10 marks and literature for 30 marks. Now let us move on to the question paper which has fixed questions. Now the question paper is very easy to analyze. Look at question number 1 and 2. Both of them are reading passages wherein 12 questions will be given and students will appear for only 10 out of 12 questions. Both the passages will be for 10 marks each. The first one will be a discursive passage and the second one will be a factual passage. So we can see very well that there is ample choice given here. Students will appear only for 10 questions out of 12 in both the cases. And both the questions will be purely multiple choice based questions. Question number 3 and 4. Here we see that question number 3 and 4 both are extracts from literature. The only difference is the third one is an extract from drama or prose, and the second, that is the fourth one, is an extract from poetry. Now in both the cases you have 2 extracts and you have to answer only one out of the 2 extracts. So in every question there is ample choice given, making the paper more student friendly for all of you. Question number 5. Here grammar question for 10 marks. Again there will be 12 questions wherein you will answer only 10 out of the 12, and the grammar topics for the grammar questions will be tenses, modals, subject verb concord, reported speech, commands, requests, statements, questions, and determiners. Moving on to the part B of the question paper, that is the subjective part. We have 2 writing skill questions for 10 mark, 5 and 5 together 10 marks. Formal letter based on a given situation. Here again there are 2 questions and students will appear for only 1 out of the 2. The second one will be an analytical paragraph wherein students will be provided with an outline, data, charts or cues, and students will have to again appear for only 1 question out of 2. Moving to the literature part of the subjective part B of the paper. Here we have question number 3 and 4 with the same pattern. In both the cases you will have to answer only 4 questions out of 6. The questions will be patterned in this manner. 3 questions for first flight wherein only 2 will have to be answered by students, and 3 from footprints out of which only 2 will be answered. So in all it will be 4 questions out of 6 in both the cases. The only difference is question 3 will have short questions for 2 marks and question 4 will have short questions for 3 marks each. Moving ahead to question number 5 and 6. Now both of these are of the same pattern. They are 5 mark long answer type questions. 5th one will be from first flight and 6th one from footprints without feet. In both the cases you have 2 questions and students will answer only 1 out of the 2. Okay, so here we come to an end of the presentation. Before I conclude, let's look at the deleted lessons for the year 2020-21. From first flight, how to tell wild animals, trees, fog, Mitchell the otter, for Anne Gregory. From footprints without feet, we have the deleted lessons, the midnight visitor, a question of trust, the book that saved the earth. So students, we can see that overall the paper has been made very student friendly with 40 marks of objective question papers. And the best part is that in each and every question there is choice given to you. So I'm sure you're very clear with the paper pattern. Thank you for watching.